Hi, my name is Graham Walker. I'd like to welcome you to this customer testimonial of the Allied Telesis Management Framework, or AMF. I have with me today Stephen Wilcox from Spark Digital Southland in New Zealand. Stephen is a lead technical consultant and has recently deployed AMF into Southern Institute of Technology, which is one of New Zealand's leading tertiary educational establishments. Tell me, what were the reasons for selecting AMF for Southern Institute of Technology?
Well, the network we've deployed at SIT has become quite widespread now, and the complexity is raising on it with all the extra campuses going in and added services going into that network. So we needed a more efficient way of managing the network and managing change in the network. And the change management was the key part of why we wanted to put AMF in there.
And how easy was it to install AMF onto the SIT network?
Surprisingly, it was a lot simpler than we had anticipated. We had allowed a couple of days to actually deploy AMF throughout the network. There was some precursory work we had to do to get the network to the level required to put AMF on there, which took a couple of days to deploy. But the actual deployment of AMF we did essentially in one evening, and that was across I think it's 88 switches in the environment, which we've now deployed as a 46 node AMF managed network. And it was very straightforward deployment, like I say, a lot easier than we actually anticipated.
What benefits did you hope to realise at SIT, and has AMF lived up to your expectations?
It definitely lived up to the expectations. The two key benefits I was looking for was essentially the centralised backup of all the configuration files. For a network that size, it's very key to make sure you've got current backup files of your configs, especially if you have switch failures and whatnot and need to replace them. So from that perspective, it definitely lived up to it. The other big one was the change management again. Networks this size, we have complex configurations in various aspects of the campuses, and sometimes those changes, making a small change, can take a couple of hours. Now, I've had direct experience since putting AMF in there. Those particular changes, which would have taken 2 hours previously, we are doing in literally 10 minutes to make the same change across the network. So the efficiency of managing that network is fantastic.
What are the benefits of AMF from a systems integrator's point of view?
Well, Graham, the efficiencies in AMF are in the change management. So from an integrator's perspective, whether it's a large client or a small client, it's the benefits of being able to manage and roll out those changes simply and effectively. Now, as an integrator, we can look at using AMF as a service. So you can deploy it as part of your integrator provided options and manage smaller networks remotely as part of that service offering. And that's a good advantage for a small company that would not necessarily look at AMF as a product itself, but now as an integrator we can provide that as an offering to them and provide all those efficiencies and benefits that come with it.
So what you're saying is that those efficiencies allow you to save costs by doing more in less time?
Yes, definitely. And I think the other point to mention here, which I haven't mentioned so far, is the ability to what they call zero config the switches. So that was another big selling point from my perspective, is that with the network set up, if we have a switch failure, we don't have to have a particular skilled resource to change that switch. We can give it to a desktop engineer or a systems engineer to go and physically change it in the cabinet. AMF will detect that that switch has gone in, that it's unconfigured. It knows, based on the previous configuration, what that switch should have on it, and it will automatically load the switch config to its previous state. So that's great from a deployment perspective and what skill sets you need to do that.
And AMF can auto-install new switches too, which is useful when extending your network.
Yes, definitely. Great facility.
Thanks for your time and those comments, Stephen. We really appreciate the great work you and Spark Digital Southland has been doing to bring a world-class network infrastructure to Southern Institute of Technology. And thanks for watching. We hope to bring you more AMF success stories in the near future.